note of it being the 24th episode, welcome everyone to the Extremely Average podcast hosted by Goat and Red. Just your two average guys with nothing to do, entertaining you with an extremely average podcast.
Yes. Look at that. Look at that on the last episode of the season. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel of doing something so useless with your life every week?
I feel like as exams and things are coming closer, they'll probably have to abandon this whole project unless this becomes my primary salary. So Red, you have one chance. You have this month to get us a few thousand in revenue. Otherwise, I'm leaving you for some other podcast that's more popular or something.
Which podcast is that? Huh? Do you have any podcast? South African podcast?
I don't know yet.
You don't know. But guys, welcome. It's me, Red, the one with the light blue profile, and that's Goat, the one with the yellow profile.
Welcome everyone.
How are you guys? We've never said subscribe, like, comment. Please do that stuff.
And they just broke the perfect track record that we had.
No, okay. What happened? What happened if maybe these people who actually it's maybe these guys don't actually need us to subscribe to them. So that's why they don't subscribe.
Haven't we said on the podcast before that we are broke students or young people? So it's supposed to be easily assumable by everyone. I can't remember the right word. That we need money. So
yes,
so we should always subscribe and share.
Please give us your hard-earned money.
In the form of a like. In the energy that it takes to press one button.
Do that, guys. Do that.
Hard-earned money.
But let's see.
Before we start, it's funny how in other countries you can usually donate directly, and I'm pretty sure where we are, we don't have that function at all.
I've seen that on YouTube so much. It's a fundraiser. Of course, I'm not gonna donate, but I want to see the option.
Funny to see,
But it's fundraiser is not available in your country. I'm like, oh damn. I'm not gonna donate, but I want to see the option to donate.
Yeah, because I think I saw it once on a Nickelback song. And it was also really weird, and it's still out because obviously that Nickelback song came out 10 or so years ago. And it's still you're listed as a fundraiser, and I still can't donate. But it was funny to see the whole donate button being there. It's oh, what's this? This is the first time, and then this feature isn't available in your country. Please try again. What the fuck? What am I supposed to do?
That's me also. I want to see the button to donate. I'm not like I said. I'm not going to actually donate yet. We are from a very poor country. There's a reason why there's no button to donate from in India. So But anyway, on to updates with the podcast.
I see. What updates do you have? Ooh, I have an update.
Okay, here's an update.
So it was kind of also one of my topics that I wanted to talk about.
Okay.
But it is funny how the world has made COVID has made the world more attentive to infectious diseases or bacterias and those type things. Because I'm sure you heard last week or sometime of the monkeypox. What is it called? Yeah, monkeypox.
Don't forget monkeypox.
Oh well, it's just a variant of the regular pox.
Chickenpox.
Yeah, the regular pox sickness. And I saw a lot of how articles usually jump on these type of things to get the clickbait and everything. So I saw on the internet, or I was busy on I was searching for something, I can't remember what. Oh, it was something for university. I was using Chrome for anatomy work.
It sounds like you were using it for some random other stuff that you should not be watching.
Nah, this is actually for work. And I saw the usually it gives you recommended or news feed type things. And it was the people being oh, this is everything you need to know about the monkeypox virus and how it can affect you, and is this the new COVID and things like that. And it's like, no, it's just a smallest variant or like type of infection that came from an already existing sickness. Okay, well, obviously, COVID was also pre-standing, or like an already known problem. No, what do you call it? Like sickness or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But like with this, what I read then is that it's just a pox type sickness. So like any regular smallpox vaccine should be useful in treating monkeypox.
Mm-hmm.
But people are still like, oh no, look, you should be afraid and remember to self isolate and things. And it's like previously, if something like that happened in the world, like you remember Ebola,
Yes.
the Ebola virus or whatever, people were freaking out, and like that is true. It did have quite a big
Yeah.
lethality.
Oh yeah,
What's
it
it
was
called?
quite a deadly disease, you know.
Yeah, like if you
Lethality,
got
yeah,
it, like it's basically
very lethal.
yeah,
Died in a
it's
week.
basically guaranteed that you would die. But like people was afraid of it then, and then they kind of forgot about it, and then you don't see any new variants popping up over the news. And now because of COVID, people are like, you should be afraid of this thing as well. It's like no, like basically everyone gets a smallpox or measles vaccine when they're a child.
Yeah.
So unless your parents didn't take you for it for
Unless you're an
some
anti-vaxxer, you know, like you're a really, really anti-vaxxer and believe all of this stuff is a hoax, you know, and then when you're actually dying in the hospital,
yeah.
you know, then you can be like, oh, damn, I should have gotten that vaccine.
Yeah, you're just there, like slowly dying, and you're thinking, like, well, I could have gotten one vaccine, maybe two, and prevented this very curable disease. But nah,
My
my
parents were
immune
very
system
dumb, you know.
can't do anything, you know.
My parents at that time were like, why would we do that, you know? And now I'm here, the one dying. But yeah, you know, what I want to talk about are actual updates for the podcast, you know, actual updates. We're
Oh,
changing the
okay,
name.
okay.
It's not called the Extremely Average Podcast anymore. It's
I see. This
called
is news to me.
news. You know, it's news to me also. You know, I was thinking of a funny name, but you know, I couldn't think of a name. So we're going back to the Extremely Average Podcast. It is a very short-lived name. You know,
Name change. Okay.
You know, very short-lived name change. But yeah, so you know, we're going to take a break after this episode. You know, it's not like we've done much to like take a break, but still, we're taking a break.
That's bad enough. No, already. It's fine.
So yeah.
Just also on the name. So two of my friends, we were listening to music over the TV last weekend, and I was playing it from my phone, like sharing my phone to the TV, my YouTube, whatever. And while one of them was thinking of a song to play, like I was just in the search bar, and they could see that I've searched up the name, the Extremely Average Podcast, and they both asked me, "What's this random ass name that I have here?" And I kind of felt offended for a moment, really, like because they didn't like the name. So I was like, "Oof, my heart, my soul."
And you came up with the name, so you know, I don't mind.
Yeah, so it hits close to home, you know, like, thinking that I like being proud of the name that I made, and then people be like, "What's this random cringy ass thing?"
So what did you say? What did you say it was?
I just told them that it's a podcast that I quite enjoy, and then
Oh, yeah.
and then I swiftly changed the topic to playing music.
Oh yeah,
you know?
nice. That's what I also say. Like, you know, when I invite someone on, I don't say, "Yo, can you come on to my podcast?" I'm like, yeah. You know, my friend has a podcast, and you know, he's looking for guests. Do you want to come on? I never say, you know, come on to the I never say come on to the podcast.
Wait, so any of these people that you've sent this to, have they come on the podcast yet?
Oh,
Or not?
no, Christoph. You know what I asked Christoph to come on? I told him my friend has a podcast, so he thinks it's your podcast. You know, it's like,
Oh, okay. That's also fine, I guess.
It's like, you know, it's like cringy shit. That's like
Damn. Just throwing me under the bus, I see. No, it's fine. It's fine.
But then I think everyone else knows that we are the one hosting it. You know, everyone. I'm sure like Christoph just like, oh my god, this guy is a reoccurring guest on every episode.
Why does this goat guy say in his intro that it's both Red and him hosting the podcast when he exclusively said that it wasn't his? But okay, that's his bullshit.
But yeah, that's, you know, so, did you imagine your friends start listening to this and then they hear this stories on this, like exactly, oh, so he's just lying to us.
Yeah.
But you know, I highly doubt that will happen.
Yeah, I doubt that I would share the podcast with them
Why
just
not,
yet,
fam?
you know,
Why not?
because I do not want to.
Oh, damn, I see, I see. I was
It's
just gonna
not
lie.
like you send this podcast to some of your other friends from like uni
Oh,
or
fam, but
school or
no,
anything.
never, bro. Plus, I don't know many people. This is the whole reason why we invite guests on, so they can share it with people.
Hmm.
You know, not us. You know, we don't do that stuff. You know,
But I
we're
don't think we've actually asked one of our guests to actually share the podcast. Like I know Lesedi,
no.
he shared it.
I asked them.
Oh,
I like,
okay,
but no,
damn.
no. That was like I think when I sent it to Bashir, when I sent it to the city, I think I don't know, Red Fox. When I sent it to Red Fox, you know,
Uh,
after we done the episode, we uploaded it. I told them, I sent to them, send them a link. I was like, share with your friends and family. That's why.
oh,
Then they put
okay.
it on the status. Yeah, that's how it
No,
happened.
because I remember you also heard Ego saying that he shared it with the friend that was in the story that he told.
Yeah,
But otherwise, like I don't go around sharing it to my family or friends or anything. So
yeah. You know, this is also same. Yeah. But, oh well. But yeah, we're going
it's just,
on. Are we gonna take 2 weeks off? Or we take a month off? But you know, a month is quite
uh,
a long time though.
we'll see what we end up
Oh no,
doing.
but see, what I was thinking is like, you know, we take 2 weeks off, and the other 2 weeks is just like we make content. So like, you know, we start
Mm,
recording on the. I don't know. If, like, you know, we can start record, or because we also want to upload other things, not just podcast.
yeah,
Some
would be
gaming and
nice.
gaming stuff. Because we are funny when we play games. You know, not the best players, but you know, it is funny to see us play games. So that also
At
the
least you can laugh at us for being stupid in some games, but you
yeah.
know.
Also, also wanted to, like, you know, have like gameplay as a background of a podcast, because you know, this is also like, I remember you telling me you wanted to do like the Moist Critical podcast, the official podcast, like do like
Yeah.
wavelength stuff. I also don't mind doing that, but you
Um,
know, we have to figure that out.
the wavelength one would be nicer than actually using background from one of our games because the background would make it so that the render is bigger. I'm pretty sure
Oh yeah, yeah,
because now it's rendering more visuals the whole time. So poor PC is going to be running for a long time. Isn't it?
yeah. Of course, you know, that's the whole point. But you know that I don't think there's a much else. So like, it's just gonna be uploading gaming, because we do have some games we have recorded, but we just never edited that stuff out because we have to be like very careful of what we say, and this
Yeah.
and that.
And sometimes we play with friends and they don't want to be recorded,
Oh yeah, that's true.
which
Yeah.
also happens.
And
Or some
sometimes,
people that we record with are just idiotic and say our names.
fucking, and all some outrageous shit. Man, I was like, oh damn. It's not like we don't say outrageous shit, but we don't say outrageous shit. No, you'll never know. You know, you'll never know, because
We won't get cancelled due
Yeah,
to
you
what
know.
we say or expose people.
But yeah, that I really don't. Oh yeah, that, you know, that's gonna take a while. Like, you know, because I was, you know, Ricky Gervais, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, like
comedian, actor.
I watched this kind of like a podcast show, but it's like
Mm.
animated. Basically, it's like real, and then like then it gets animated. It's animated, the whole thing. It's quite a nice like the way I want to be like, oh damn, that's such a quite a nice way of presenting a podcast, but you know, we don't know how to animate, so we don't have money to give people to animate, so
People
that dream
animation
died.
would like work if we use shorts rather. Like we have the 2 minute clip or at
Oh yeah,
max
that's yeah,
2 minute clip and we
yeah,
say, hey, animate this into something.
yeah. Well, you know,
Or,
we're not
or
gonna
you
tell
know,
anyone.
me and you will do it
Yeah,
ourselves.
yeah. We'll start with
In,
ourselves, you know.
you know those. I'm not sure if you ever did that like art where you draw like stickman on the bottom of your page and then you would flip through it, so that it
Oh
kind
yeah.
of looks like it's a small action movie. You know,
Oh,
you'll just do something like that.
oh yeah. We'll figure it out. You know, we have a 1 month so to figure all this shit out. But also, like you said, shorts are coming next season. Next
Mm.
season, all of this next season. Nothing this season. Uh,
Don't expect anything yet.
Audio will be the same. We do apologize for the previous episode audio. That shit was, oh damn, that was audio by one of our guests. You know, we have to. I guess I highly doubt we'll ever have 3 guests on the same time. That wasn't that nice. It was just a average episode. And then Spotify will be fixed up. Spotify, hopefully, no promises, but Spotify will be fixed up and God is dead. No contributions.
I'm not dead yet. It's fine.
He's just gone. I'm just gone.
I was just thinking probably.
I see. It's fine. But yeah, shorts are coming hopefully. And no five. I don't know. We might have a bigger group of guests once.
Okay, well, with that, we might need to pay more attention to actually recording the audio.
Oh yeah,
so for bigger things like that, it might be better to ask one or two of the other people to record their own audio. So we can at least adjust them, because like with the last episode, which is a bit of a fuck up, we can get like Christoph to record his own audio, and then
we can
try his audio.
We can't be fucking up at 23 episodes in. Like
yeah, but I think the reason why it was such a big fuck up name, something that you as the viewers or listeners or whatever wouldn't know.
Yeah, Toxic Nerd, Ego, and Christoph. If just in case you forgot the names of the guests, what we call them.
Wait, what do you mean?
Oh no, if you were going to say anyone's name, you don't want to say anyone's name, so then I don't want to edit names out and shit.
No, I don't think I've said anyone's name up until now, have I?
No, you haven't.
Okay. But no, what I wanted to say is that last time, before the recording, while we were still waiting for Toxic Nerd to join, Ego and Christoph said that I should stream, that they can see how I had set up my my OBS. Yeah. And they ended up telling me, no, because we wanted to try and record the like comments and things on the side that you can do in Discord. But we only ended up like they made me make a new like recording screen and things, and that just ended up messing up my audio recording. Like it changed the presets that I had to record through my headset and my mic. And when I recorded the full, what was it, an hour? How long? Hour and a half?
Yeah,
how long was that?
Hour and a half. Yeah, hour and a half. Hour 20 minutes. Yes, it was okay average.
Yeah, but through that whole episode, I didn't record any audio. So I had to use Red's audio, which I don't think was as equalized as nicely as mine was. But we don't have.
Christoph's was quite loud. I don't know if even the first time we recorded with him, I think he has a really good mic or something. I should have put his volume much lower. And then Ego was already quiet in the episode, and then Toxic Nerd his audio was. We don't talk really about quiet. His audio. Oh what? Oh yeah. His audio was quiet. Yeah, sure. Let's go with that. But yeah, hopefully they'll all come back on. I know that Christoph and Ego will come on because those guys do have some nice stories, interesting stuff. Toxic Nerd, I don't know. He might come on, might not. It depends on him and us. But yeah, I think that's it for updates. Yeah, I think that's it for updates. Yeah, but on to the episode. So far, I can't even know how long it has been. But that's
18 minutes of updates.
This episode is not going to be super long. That's what I say all the time, and then it just turns out to be super long. But yeah, one topic. You can tell them one topic this time.
Well, I wanted to talk about either idiotic kids in school or crazy teachers, and I asked Red to go out and rack his brain for any stories that he can share with us. So he has the center stage now. Spotlight is on him.
Okay. I really can't remember. Like, I can't remember. Like, I know the teacher story. I have a teacher story. I'm thinking of like some kid's story, but when I was in grade 8, we've gone old now. When I was in grade 8, yeah. I think it was like we had terms. If you're in South Africa, you all have terms. Term 1, term 2, term 3. Terms are like just basically the first 3 months of the year. Term 1, oh my god, my class was horrible, fam. It was a horrible. So I'm not talking about like the people were like just like horrible people, or we were horrible people.
Do you, like, give the shit or what? Why do you say?
We because in term 1, right, we had 21 detentions and about 3 suspensions.
Okay.
This was the whole grade, the whole of grade 8. And I had 3 detentions from that. Wait, no, it was it. No, I think it was 3 over the year. But maybe it was in term 1. I really can't remember. But fuck, that was such a bad year. Like we were like a horrible year. Like 21 detention. We made a teacher cry.
What's the main reason for it? Like, what is the like main like driving force per se? The detentions.
We weren't like misbehaving or okay. No, of course, there's always people that are misbehaving. That's why they got like penalties and detention. But it's all mostly for like homework. That's why I got penalized. That's why I got like maybe I was talking in class. It's like you keep quiet, talking again. You keep quiet, talking again. It's like
and this is now a mark on your name.
Yeah. So they give us like penalties 5 minus 5 minus 15 to get detention.
Okay.
So basically, that's how I got it. That's how I got like minus 15. And then I didn't like you forget to do homework or some shit. And, we were sitting in Afrikaans, I remember. And then the teacher he was going around signing the book. I was doing it in class. And it's like you skip some questions just so you can go faster.
Yeah, just so that there's something written at least, and then maybe they'll skip you over for this one time.
I was skipping questions. I was writing some nonsense. And of course, it was grade 8, so Afrikaans wasn't like really high level Afrikaans. It was just normal stuff. But I couldn't give a shit, so I was just copying. And my group, God bless all those people. I know I'm saying that, but God bless all of them. They weren't the smartest people either. They weren't Afrikaans people. So I was like, oh damn, let me just. I was just like, yo, let me copy your work. Like, those guys also didn't do it. It's just like, oh my fuck. At that point, I'm just like, okay, fine. I'll take the minus 5 because I'm only on 10. After that, I go to I go to my English class. Oh my god, that teacher was so fucking bad, fam. That teacher was not a good teacher. And this one kid, at grade 8 we weren't friends. Like I didn't like him, but then this guy said, we were just talking, and this guy, he thought it would be a joke, he thought it would be funny, and he just started saying that I called him the N-word, and literally and then the table is like two of them were his friends, and just one other person, just not random person, of course, just not like in their group super tight. But this guy said, I called him the N-word, and of course the teacher's like, okay, that's not right, and she gave me minus 5. She was trying to give me for hardcore swearing and stuff. And I'm like, yo, bro, I'm like, no, this was they were gonna call my parents and stuff. I'm like, no, I did not say this dumb shit. But this teacher, she did not believe me. She could tell she didn't like me. You have to be super smart for her to like you. She's like, no.
And this guy that made the accusation, he didn't fess up that it was
he
just
didn't.
a joke.
He also got scared, because I told him no. I never said anything like that. And then she, but we both couldn't prove if I said anything or he said anything. And then one of his friends is like, yeah, he it was end of class. He's like, yeah, he did say it. And then it's teacher's like, okay, I'm giving you minus 15. I'm giving him minus 5. And after yo, bro, I was fucking scared. They're gonna call my parents. And then the one of his friends, the guy who said, yeah, oh no, it was just all a joke. Then he got minus 15 for lying. She still gave me minus 5, even though I didn't say anything. I didn't swear. I didn't do anything. Bro, what? And that's how I got one of my detentions. I was so pissed off. Bro, what is this nonsense? What is this nonsense? After that, I'm like, no, I'm not gonna sit on this table anymore. I told the teacher, move me. She's like, okay, you can move because all of this nonsense. And afterwards, after that, even that guy was like, fuck. He was also sorry. He also apologized. It was all a joke. He didn't mean to go over here. After that, I think it was grade 11. Grade 10 or grade 11, we were in the same English class. This time I was sitting with other people, we were all friends now, those guys. we were watching a movie and shit, and then the teacher's like, I don't know what brought this upon her, she, I don't know what we were talking about, what happened. She's like, we don't need men in this world. We cannot survive without men. I was, and I'm like, She said that, and I said something about plants. I don't know what I said about. Oh wait, no. Oh no. It wasn't about men. It wasn't about men and stuff. It was about eating meat. Yeah.
Okay.
Because eating meat is murder and stuff.
Interesting. Yeah.
'Cause I think
Uh,
she was vegetarian. I'm like, but aren't you also killing plants then? Because plants are also technically alive. They
yeah,
are
the
alive. So like, and she's like, no, shut up. I'm like, okay, fam, then what?
don't come here bringing common sense and reasoning into my class.
No, I was so shocked. She said, shut up. I'm like, what? I just looked at my table. Just looked at me like, okay, because like no one brings up plants as being living things. Like there's a talk about animals. I'm like, no. Plants are
Uh,
also living things. Like, nah, none of that
uh,
nonsense, man. Don't come here. Damn, okay. But yeah, every time I hear, like, she also said that we don't need men, only we can get sperm banks. I just want to say to these people, like, you really think if you're trying to kill out all men, men will willingly donate their sperm to a
uh,
sperm bank so you guys can carry on? You think that will happen?
yeah, they'll just be like, okay, so we don't need you guys anymore, but we need you for like one last thing. Then we're gonna fully wipe out all men on the earth. So just ejaculate in this small cup a few times for us, please.
Uh, but yeah, that's my story of my English teacher. There's another math teacher which is hectic stuff. We'll carry on after your story.
Okay, so on the topic of teachers, I had one really crazy math teacher.
My teacher's
Uh,
also math.
so just a bit of like background of her. She was a really like quite long, but then also really fat teacher.
Wait, long and fat. Is it male or female?
It's a female teacher.
Always females, fam.
So, but like she's surprisingly tall. But yeah, she was also really round, and the one thing about her is that when she laughs, like basically everyone over the school's grounds could hear her laugh, and like people like in 3 stories above and like a kilometer, okay, not really a kilometer, a few 100 meters further away. Like usually you can't hear anything like that distance, but then you would still hear her laugh. Like she would have a small window, and then she would have like a really loud bellowing laugh.
How much are you
Um,
exaggerating now with this laugh, fam?
Not like you could legit hear her across the rugby fields at least. So that's quite a legit laugh, I would say. But anyway, so she was also one of those teachers where if you're smart and you work in her class, then she would love you and like she wouldn't mind whatever you're doing. But if you're one of the less gifted children or you don't do your homework and things, then she really hates you. Like she has a very short fuse with those type people. And with one of my friends, I can't remember exactly who it was. I think they like either had her on a bad day or whatever, which was quite a lot of times actually. Um, but one of the days,
Oh, no.
she was irritated with them, and they didn't stop talking, and they were sitting like across from her, way far at the back of the class. And she took a calculator, a scientific calculator, and just chucked him with the calculator. Just took it and straight up threw it across the class, and hit him with it. And then, like, he had to do the walk of shame of picking the calculator up and taking it back to her, where she was standing there. And like, she would do things like that. And another thing with her is like a bit later when I think it was in grade 7. She had a bit of health problems, which I think is quite like to be expected when you're that like overweight. But then she got another like student. Oh no, it was actually one of the other girls in my class. Her mother, she also gave class like as a side job or thingy. So she came in and helped with giving us math, and they divided the class into two: the smart class and the stupid class. And they like the student's mother, like the one standing in. She never told us that, but the crazy one just straight up told our class, because I was in the smart class. She told us like everyone with like above 60 or 70, that's the people that should be in this class. Everyone else should be in the other one. And then like the other class is just next to us. And they got a bit of other, like they still had to do the same work, but in that class they would do it much slower. And the like teacher that's helping, or the mother that's helping, would like go individually and sit with the children and be like, okay,
Oh.
why are you stupid? No, I'm kidding. They would be like, why are you struggling so much, or what can I help you with? And then she would give them more individual teaching.
Yeah.
That's my crazy math teacher that we had.
It wasn't as mad as weird as expected, you know. I thought
Well,
some mad drama was happening, fam. Mad drama.
well, she just usually threw things at you, and like she had some weird relationships with some of the children that weren't
Hmm?
as smart. No, not sexual relationships
Oh,
or
okay.
anything like that. Just like she paid more attention to them and said that she knew them better.
Wait, okay, I have a question. In South Africa, can you get sued for defamation?
For defamation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure you can.
It's because, like, there are rumors of, like, my English teacher, the one that I don't like. Yeah, like
Yeah.
when I came into high school, or maybe like a year into high school, there were rumors like, she fucked she fucked a student in the swimming pool. It's like it was all over the school, all over the school. It's like everybody knew it, and they were just like sitting there
And
with her.
she kept like what
And she
giving
kept teaching.
classes.
Yeah, she kept teaching for yeah. She also lived on the premises
Oh,
because like
damn.
there's teacher housing right there. It's like, wow, bro, it is mad
Yeah.
how this is. But yeah, my crazy teacher story. Also, when I was in grade 10 this time, I was in grade 10. So we had a math teacher, female math teacher. I think
Yeah.
that was her first year. We were her first class because there were two classes for grade 10. My class, and then whatever the teacher's surname is, S for my it was S, and then the other one was, I think it was K. Yeah, I think it was K. Right, 10S, 10K. So, it was a divided class. Everything's fine. Most of my friends were like in my class. But during that time, but there was like the one person who was in the other class. This teacher, since she's new, right? She's young, she's hip, all that bullshit.
Yeah.
She was
She
helping.
isn't a fossil like some of the other people.
Yeah. Thing is, her mother also taught at the same school. Like she taught, and then
Yeah.
she taught in grade 12. So she also taught. Her mother taught me in grade 12. But we were there and learning. We were literally learning. Like it was like she really helped a lot. Like she was like, this, do this, and there was a test coming up. Yeah, I think it was a term test. Everybody's like, yeah, good. She gave us the questions of the test. We didn't know,
Okay.
She legit took the question, put it on the board, and she's like, so like, this is the type of question that will come in the test, and she solved the whole thing. And now we're like, oh, okay, cool. Now we wrote the test.
You didn't write it down.
No, that's fine.
Like those examples.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, man. That story, like, it's not about dumb kids who are still failing even after having the whole test. So,
Yeah.
this whole test was like, it was good. It was good. Everybody in our class, I think most of us really got good marks. And then there was this one girl, like, Indian girl. So she told someone in the other class, Indian boy, like, of course, like, this guy, he most probably asked, can you give me some notes on the test? And she's like, this is the question that will come in the test. Learn it. And their class failed. Like 30%, fam. Like, 30% and lower, fam. They did bad. They did bad.
Even before high school.
High school, fam. They were mad failing. Plus, also, their class was also known as the dumb class,
Okay.
Now, this person, right? He also failed. He went to their teacher, and their teacher was like one of the heads. He's like, the other class got all the answers. Like, how is this? Why is this allowed? Like, this should not be allowed. And she's like, how do you know they got the answers? Like, he showed her everything. He showed her this. Literally the next day, like we were just sitting in math, we weren't sitting in class. The next day, the teacher gets called in by the heads, like, yo fam, you're gonna get fired. How could you do this shit? You're gonna get after that we all had to write a new test, obviously. No, but nobody, like, he just, like, it was a very strong hatred for people.
Yeah, no, I can imagine.
That teacher got a bad shouting. She was about to get fired. I think because of that, her fiance left her. Like,
oh damn, okay.
And she was bawling, fam. She was like crying. No, not bawling like with money. She was crying. She was
bawling her eyes out.
Yeah, she was crying in this, and then of course she was crying in class. It's like, bro, what happened? Like, what happened? They're like, yo, you told us, someone in their class told, like, okay, no, it's not someone. Everyone knew who told who. The name's already there. Like, this person told the teacher, and then of course
someone snitched.
Yeah, someone snitched.
No, it's doubles.
And then she's like, why? And then she just asked the girl. She didn't blame the girl, like, that told that guy. She didn't tell him, like, bro, why did you just, like, she's like, bro, why did you tell? She was crying a lot. The girl started crying, and then the guy came, like, to apologize to the girl. To the girl, not to the teacher, to the girls, like, oh, please don't cry. It's like, all this shit. This is a big mess. And one of the really, really smart kids, also had to step out to comfort her. It's like, yo, then that's when everybody found out that the engagement broke off.
Okay.
It was like, oh, okay, so your engagement broke off.
A really interesting, like, turn of events, like going from some person snitching to actually having this person breaking off an engagement.
I don't think it was because of this, like, I don't think it was because of this, but
well, like, if it was, like, that's quite extreme. Like, I can understand, like, if the teacher gave you the answers, and obviously she would get in trouble for that, because it's not really the way that it should be. Or at least if you're giving the answers, you have to give it equally to everyone.
No. So she gave it equally. Though my teacher gave it equally.
But she didn't give it to the other class.
Because she doesn't teach the other class. That's the whole thing.
Yeah,
we had two maths teachers, and the other maths teacher was fucking dog shit. I'm not gonna lie, she was dog shit teacher. Like, this is why even the smart kids in that class were failing. Like, the smart kids, she's like,
no, I can understand it, but it's just
horrible.
From my point of view, like, because we also had a few instances like that, because in our high school, it's a really big high school. So, like, for a subject, we might have had like 3 or 4 teachers for the same grade. Like, for physics, like physics and chemistry, we had, I think it was 2 doctors, like, they had their doctorate degrees. And then 2 other, like, regular teachers that also gave the same subjects, and they gave it to other grades. And the 2 doctors were way smarter and way better at actually teaching us the chemistry and physics than the other 2. Like, one of the regular teachers who was fun to be around with, like, to actually have classes with, because she was more intelligent with technology. So, like, she had presentations and things that were actually made sense, not like having a black screen with yellow writing on it, like some of the other teachers had, so you can't see anything on the board. But, like, things like that. So, but the doctors were so much better at actually teaching us the word. So, no, that's pretty.
No. Okay, that's their problem. But the question was, why did this guy snitch? He got the answer. I don't really remember, like, fully, like, what happened. It might have been that she gave the answers after the test, but this is why he told the lecturer about the teacher. But, I'm like wondering if he got the answers before and then he told, bro, like, why would you do that? But, anyway, the story, everybody's crying there. It's like, yo, it was a mess. I think, like, 1 month passed. She started dating our music teacher, a black music teacher, Like, your people were just looking at us like, yo, fuck, she was in love, fam. It was like, yo, fam, I see. Once you go black, never go back, huh? Is that what's happening here? Like, people, like, she's getting that big dick, it's all that stuff.
Yeah, as the rumors usually go around,
it was midterm, like midterm. Term 3 started, that guy was gone. That guy, he got a really good lifetime opportunity of a lifetime. He went to America. He was, like, playing music. That teacher, fam, she lost it again. She's like, fuck.
Yeah, because like imagine like having two heartbreaks like that in 1 year. It's bad.
So I think the other one was just for like for sex, man. Like it was so shocked. It was such a shock. Like she just ended the engagement and she's already with someone else now. Like okay.
Yeah, you're madly in love with a new guy. You know?
It was so funny, man. It was so funny. Like just watching this thing play out over a long period of time. Huh.
Uh,
Good times and good times in school. Good times.
but I can tell a story of a crazy child if you want
That's
to
good, yeah.
listen. So in primary school, so my brother is what like 2-3 years older than me, but 2 years in terms of grades. So when I was like in grade 5, he would have been in grade 7. Um, and like I can't remember in what grade it was, but I think it was like at least in grade 4 for him or something like that. There was this guy at school that bit him in the arm, like in the upper arm, like where your triceps are.
Yeah.
He bit him there. I can't remember like if there was a reason for it, but that guy was kind of fucked in the head. But like that's a really bad, like he bit him so hard that my brother's arm turned purple in that area. And like not even just locally a small like bruise or whatever. Nah, it's like a legit like 10 or so centimeters in diameter purple mark. Like we had to take him to the doctor, and I'm pretty sure they gave my brother medicine and a shot because like obviously a human's mouth has a lot of bacteria in it,
Yeah.
and like it can be really infectious and cause you a lot of problems if you get bitten by someone else. But anyway, that's just okay. So he bit him, and it obviously my parents escalated it to the teachers because like why the fuck is this child just biting their son? And like there was a lot of like trouble going around, not court cases or anything, but like they were really unhappy, and the school had to step forward and like punish the child that bit my brother and things like that. And as a joke, my parents then oh wait, no, okay, so a bit of more context. So he was a year older than my brother, I'm pretty sure, or the same age as my brother, but in the same grade or whatever. And he failed a few years, like he failed I think like twice or so in primary school. And my parents always made jokes or saying that he would end up being with me in class. Oh wait, no, that's how it worked. So he was older than my brother, and he failed, and then he was in the same grade as my brother. So like let's say both of them were now in grade 4, whatever. And like school went on, and like they both went to high school, and he also came with high school with. And then my parents made jokes saying that he would end up being in classes with me because in high school he failed another year. So he was 1 year. He was now between me and my brother in terms of grades. And they kept joking about it, saying that he's going to come for me as well. And then he actually failed that year as well. And in grade 10, he was with me in class.
Oh, he's scared. He's like, oh damn, I'm gonna get bitten now.
Yeah, he's coming for revenge now. He's like collecting, he's like Thanos collecting the Infinity Stones, biting me and my brother.
you know how they say, once he got the taste of the goat family, now he wants the blood.
Yeah, so he has to have it again. But then he actually ended up failing again.
What?
Because
Okay.
in grade 11, like he was gone for a year.
Yeah.
Like no one saw him at school. And in grade 12, we saw him in grade 11 again. So like I don't know how he managed to stay in school for that long. Because like usually after failing a certain amount of times, like a school can just kick you out or whatever, I'm pretty sure.
Maybe he had some unfortunate circumstances. That's why they're just like, okay, let's keep him.
Yeah, that's also what I'm thinking. Like that's also why we just didn't, like he never came to school when I was in grade 11 whatever. And then he finished school, I'm pretty sure, but I don't know what his marks were in the end. But he was a year, like in the year below me, and when I was finished when I was in first year, he finished in high school. And so like it's such a weird thing having this person that we made jokes of, saying that nah, he's so stupid he would actually fail and then be in my grade, having him be one grade below me in the end. So
You started above your you started above your brother.
started from my brother and like dropped down, flunked all the way through to being below me as well.
Oh, definitely. How about you? How far? I don't know if it was us talking, or I think I saw it in a show. Oh no, I read it. It was on Reddit, right? The YouTube video, and then apparently I was so shocked, like, how dangerous, because like apparently the teacher got bit by a student, like, because she taught kindergarten, and the child bit her, and
Yeah.
she left it. And then when she went to the doctor, like, after you went to the doctor, after it's like it started, she's like, it will be fine. It started swelling up.
Yeah.
And then she went to the doctor, and she's like, yo, then they told her that the human mouth is one of the most dangerous things
Yeah.
in the world. Like, it's like the most infectious thing. It's like, uh, because of that, she got really scared. And then, of course, like, I think like 2 weeks more went by, and it was swollen to such extent, like they were like, okay, you need to start taking this stuff. Why weren't you taking this stuff? She started taking all the medication, and the swelling came down, and she got lucky that they didn't have to amputate. And now she keeps all the students at like a dentist, like,
Yeah.
nah,
Not taking any chances again. Fuck
not
off.
this nonsense again. If you no one is touching me, fam. But I
Yeah,
really don't know, fam, like how dangerous the bite
yeah,
is.
it's really bad. Like, not in terms of like bite force,
Yeah,
but in terms of infectious diseases and the long-term effect that it can have if left untreated. And obviously, you can't like bite out a chunk of someone's flesh if you really try. But
yeah,
um,
and, it's so funny, seeing people bite off something, flesh off.
but she said she gave elementary.
Yeah, I think it was
So
like, elementary, because it was like, I think a 6-year-old, or maybe 6 or 5-year-old student that bit her. That's why she let it go. Like, it's like, it's fine. She's got
yeah,
it.
it doesn't matter much. Yeah.
No, that kid was
Um,
fucking wild, fam. That kid was crazy. Yeah, people that are
but
biting people that are they're crazy. Yeah.
yeah, no, they really need help. But speaking of elementary school, I had a dumb fuck that in the elementary school, I can't remember what year it was, but it was raining, so it was summertime probably. And this guy, we had at our elementary school, we had like one big, quite a big room, I guess, that had beds in it. Like
Yeah.
there was like a few bunk beds if you wanted to take a nap, and on the bunk beds you could also hang your like backpack that had your food in or whatever you brought with you to the day. And this guy took out my raincoat from my backpack, and he said that it was his. But you see, when I can't remember if I saw it, or like saw him taking it out or whatever. But I think it might have been that I went to get my raincoat and I saw it wasn't there, and like I saw him wearing a similar color and design of raincoat,
What
and
color design was it?
it was like one of those black soft shell raincoats with like the white lining on the inside
Ah,
and things. Which is like a quite common one, I guess.
I, th-
Um,
I
but
thought you'd
anyway,
have something fancy.
nah, it's not that fancy. Yo. I'm an elementary school child. Why
Yeah,
would you
exactly. Like,
something expensive?
some cartoon characters or some shit like that. Like, fancy.
Nah. But like my name was written in the back, like it was big with like a whiteboard marker or like permanent marker on the white side. So it's really easy to see that my surname and my name, my initials and my surname was written over it. And he didn't have a surname and name quite like close to mine at all. So when I told the teacher, like, no, this is mine, he kept on trying to fight it off and denying that he took it out of my bag. And like the teacher, when he finally like took it off, the teacher just looked at the back, and she could just see the big name like written there. It's like, what do you do at that point if you're that child? But anyway, um, so it was mine, and I did get my jacket back. But like we had not a rivalry, but like I had a hate for that fucker from that point on. Like he's a year younger than me, and funny enough, his mom gave also taught maths at my primary school for grade 4 learners. and in grade 4 she was actually my teacher, and I'm pretty sure she didn't like me. Well, I didn't like her at all either, so it was a mutual hate for each other.
I see, I see.
Uh,
You're just a
but
very
like,
hateful child, huh?
yeah,
Just
but like
hating. Yeah,
with that, it was like like her child. I'm not going to say his name,
yeah, of course.
but like her child was one of those people where, haha, my mother is a teacher, so I can't get into trouble, and he would be a bitch to everyone, and just be an asshole.
You know, I have this idea, episode 1 or 2 of season 2, confronting your haters. How about it? Invite him on the
Give
podcast.
him a random call and be like,
Yeah,
hey,
yeah, yeah. Yeah, follow him on Instagram and they're like, yo, fam, you wanna come on the podcast? And then we talk about this incident. Way back then.
why did you do this?
Do you remember when you stole my fucking raincoat? Huh? I love that raincoat, fam. Huh? It had my name written in white, huge,
Black and black.
black, whatever, black, white, doesn't matter, fam. And you took it and you were trying to fight it that it's not mine. How do you respond to that? Huh? What do you think of the idea? Huh? Confronting I think that's a very good series, fam. I think that would be nice.
Nah, it's fine.
Oh, you can tell me the name and I can contact the guy. Be like, yo, fam. You don't know me, but you want to be on a podcast? Huh? And then we bring up the story.
Yeah. It's like a similar thing to a child having his mother or like teaching the. We had so at our tuck shop in primary school, there's surprisingly a few weird stories from my primary school. But the tuck shop lady was a really old lady, and we all called her grandma, or our Afrikaans for it.
Oma. Oma.
Yeah, Oma. And she had a child. I think he was like in grade 1 or grade 2 when I was in grade 7. Because I remember being what do you call it? A leader. What's the other name for it in English?
Leader? What?
Yeah, prefect. That's the one I'm looking for, right?
Oh,
prefect.
You mean the class leader? Class monitor, class leader.
No. One
of the whole
above
school.
For the whole school.
Yeah, prefect. Yeah.
Yeah.
Head prefect, vice prefect.
In grade 7. And
prefects.
one of the places that we had to rotate on was also like the bathroom areas, because like we had to go check that people are okay and they're not like playing around in the bathrooms. And I remember going into the grade 1 bathroom because I heard people like running around and like making weird noises in it. So I went to go check, and it was the grandma's grandchild.
Yeah.
Of the tuck shop, and she gave him a burger which he could buy at the tuck shop, and he had asked one of his friends to chuck it out of the window, but like it was one of those windows where it's way at the top of the room. It's like a small like sliding window, whatever. And he tried to hit it, but it just like hit the wall and it fell on the ground. And when I came in, obviously prefect being bigger than the other, the children tried to run away. And like there's only one entrance, and it's a really small like passage, quite small like passage. So I just stuck out my arm and I just basically clotheslined the fucker. He was trying to run away from this. And it wasn't really like intentionally. I just tried to like put my hand out in front so that he can see he can't pass, because I wanted to talk to him like what's happening here. And he just ran straight into my arm and like hit my arm and fell back like a step or two. After that, I took him to his grandma. I was like, "Hey, your child is wasting your food," and she gave him a talking to, and we went on from there. It's just funny.
I see. Is he just bullying kids, huh? Bullying grade 1
I set him on the right path towards being a better child. So.
I see. Changing. I see you were a prefect. Were you a prefect in grade 12?
No, I wasn't.
Why not?
I wanted to be, but I was not popular or rich enough to be. Why are you laughing that badly? Yeah?
fucking funny, bro. That's why. Damn.
Um,
You seem like a person who wants to be the prefect. It's like, oh, damn.
I like to be a prefect because it was fun most of the time. Because I'm not someone that usually shied away from doing work as a prefect.
Hmm.
And like going to events, you had more power than the other people, so you could just like fuck around as
I
well.
had power. I wasn't a prefect.
Yeah, but you were probably just a bad person. And remember, you had to go to detention for all of your wrongdoings.
Yeah, but
As
that
a
was grade. That was grade 12, fam. Fam, no, no. What you mean, fam? Literally, my class had the most prefects, and those people went to detention with me.
yeah, you see, like I wasn't a prefect, but I never went to sit in detention.
Oh, you've never been to detention?
I have in grade 6. I was
Oh
in
wow, then you're a fucking horrible child, huh? Horrible kid.
Yes,
Huh? Nah.
I lost my we had a small like notebook type thing, like oh wait, no,
A
a
diary,
diary.
yeah.
Diary, yeah. And in the diary you would write what your homework was, and
Yeah.
if you got any tests back, your parents had to sign in the diary, and like
Ah,
all
damn.
of your demerits and things got noted on the diary. So I lost mine, and then you get like in our primary school we worked with stickers, like different colored stickers. Like you would get a demerit of a kind. Like if you didn't do your homework once,
Yes, yes.
you would
You
get
got an angry face.
no, not even that. Like if you didn't do your homework for 3 times, you got a green sticker, like one of those round green stickers. And if you got 5 or so green stickers, you would sit detention.
Hmm.
And for not having a homework book, you would get 1 green sticker each Monday, because on Monday the teacher had to check everyone's books and see if they did anything in the diary or not. And I got detention because I lost mine, and they didn't want to give me a new diary. So
I see that. So, so yeah, so you were. I went to detention quite a bit in high school. Damn.
nah,
Yeah,
I was a very obedient child.
I can tell you didn't live a good life. It's like
Mm. But
just
also,
this.
I think our school was a bit more lenient in terms of demerits, because our initial, I think you had to get 45 or 35
Fucking hell.
marks against your name. And we also worked in factors of 5.
Mm.
And then after you sat detention for the first time in a year, the number is decreased to 15. So if you got 45 once, sat detention, like every time you get 15 points after that, you would go to detention. So they reduced the
Ah,
number you need to sit detention. But yeah,
I
nah.
see. Well, but that's enough for school stories. Next time,
Uh,
next time we'll have someone on to tell us more school stories. I can't
uh,
remember. I can't remember
then,
shit.
because I have one more story, so I guess we can leave that for next time then.
Yeah, next time, next time. It's already quite a long episode.
Yes, but it wasn't too bad.
Yeah, it was better than last episode. So yeah, and everything is better than the last episode, fam. Even the first episode is better than the last episode.
Yeah, well, the first one also wasn't very nice in
The
terms of
first episode
audio.
has a lot of views, fam. So technically, it's still the best episode.
Okay, I haven't even going to check the views
Yes.
ever, so.
No, I don't even check the views. The last time we checked the views, it was still the highest. If anyone is listening till here, you're a loyal viewer. Don't watch the first episode. No.
It might change your idea of our podcast and not
Ah,
again.
something God doesn't want to share with his friends. Yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's that for this season. Thank you for listening in. 24 episodes. Fucking what's the 24? Not 24 hours. Almost at 24 hours.
Yeah, it's a bit more than that.
Yeah. Oh well, it was a good run. Season 1, season 2 coming soon. Hopefully Spotify is fixed also by then.
We'll have to sit down and do that. But I think I've said that before as well. So
Yeah. Oh well,
don't listen to what I have to say.
But for now, this is us just ending it here.
Just signing out.
The fuck, Jesus Christ, fam. Are you stealing other people's motor, fam? You literally have.
Is that?
Not motor, fam. I don't know I don't know which
A
guy says
catchphrase.
catchphrase signing out. But we have our own, we curse you for the whole month. That's what you're gonna say. But I just ended, fam.
Okay, well, this has been your Extremely Average podcast with your hosts, Goat and Red. We thank you for joining us today. And as always, Teep curses you with an extremely average insert time period here. Uh,
Yeah.
if
Bye
we're
bye.
gone for a month, then you see us in a month,
Well, if you come back. But anyway,
Yeah.
bye
So
bye.
we'll see. Cheers.